it's the other side of the coin. We can't have one we can't be open to have one. We can't want to have just one side of it. Sometimes we're going to get the other side. And from those failures, they can be the most powerful teachers that provide us with insights and wisdom and things that we otherwise wouldn't have gained. You know, you're watching the Stable Business Podcast. I'm your host, Jenni Bush, and I'm here to chat all things equine business with a new episode every week from me or the best in the biz. Now, before we get started, hit the subscribe button and don't forget to click the bell to be notified when a new episode drops. Hey, right. Today we are talking about one that comes up massively, and I've spoken about this topic before. There's a few episodes on this as well, so you can go back in the back catalogue of the podcast and you can find some more. But today we're talking about fear of failure and being able to embrace the setbacks. So welcome, of course, to the Stable Business Podcast. And over the next few days and the past few days, I've been talking all about spooky season and things that happen in our businesses that make us a little bit spooky and what we can do about them. So we've all felt at some point, yeah, right, we've all felt it, that nagging worry that we might stumble, we might fail. And again, this kind of comes into the stuff that I spoke about yesterday, which is all about fear of judgment. But don't worry, we're not just going to explore about how to actually cope with failure, but how to actually embrace it as part of the journey. Because what do we mean by fear of failure? So I mean, it's that apprehension that stops you taking action, stops you stepping forward, stops you moving out of your comfort zone to grow your business to the next level. Because you're worried that you might fail, and what if you look bad? What if it all collapses? What if you lose everything? All of that stuff that goes around it. And I remember there's been moments even in this business. I've spoken about my previous business before, about the failure that I felt when I decided to shut that business down and that it was not going to happen anymore. And at the time I thought that was kind of like the end for me, and I'd never be able to be an entrepreneur and work for myself again. And I felt like I was a total failure from that. I learned a lot of mistakes, but actually from those mistakes, I was able to now build this business. But in saying that, this business hasn't been without failure either. There's been things that I've launched, things that I've done that didn't really pay off. It's partly why I don't do my planners anymore. And a lot of people said to me, "Oh, Jenni, I love planners." I do the wall planners. So you can get a 2024 wall planner. They are available at the moment. But I don't do the yearly dated planners anymore because, again, they used to cost me a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of money. And I remember one year I sat and I think I still had 20, 30 copies of them, and they're really expensive to produce. And technically it could be seen as a setback or a failure. It wasn't a good decision. And actually what we need to learn is, if we are wanting to have that success, if we are going to be open to success in our business, we have to also be open to failure, because it's the other side of the coin. We can't have one we can't be open to have one. We can't want to have just one side of it. Sometimes we're going to get the other side. And from those failures, they can be the most powerful teachers that provide us with insights and wisdom and things that we otherwise wouldn't have gained. I don't know. I'm a mum. My daughter's nearly 20. But there's things that I can't tell her because I can't tell her, and I'm not one to go, "I told you so." But sometimes we just have to let it run its course. Let the mistake be made. Let the wisdom be gained, because sometimes it's the only way we can learn. Yeah, sometimes the only way we learn to walk is we fall over, and then we get up and we get up and we get up. And it's the same in our businesses. And I've been able to work with some amazing entrepreneurs who also face those failures and been able to turn them into remarkable successes. And I've spoken about this before, like, don't ever let anybody judge you on your failures. If they're going to judge you on the things that you failed on, that's just, they're not good people, because actually it's your successes that count. So it's okay to fail, and we have to get into ourselves in a position where we're totally okay with fail, because that's how we cope with it. So strategies that will really help with being able to cope with those moments of failure. So it could be working on your growth mindset, working on your just business mindset, things that keep you on track. Being able to set realistic goals. And one of these things is, I often focus on goals, is sometimes we think that we're working towards a goal and we haven't hit it yet, and so therefore we failed. You've only failed if you stopped working towards it. The timeline's not important. The timeline's so important. If you've just decided that you stopped and you've given up working on it, that's when you've chosen to fail at it. But if you're still working towards it, if you're still thinking, okay, my goal is actually the next step. My big goal is this. Let's say your goal is to buy a house, but in order to get there, there's all these other little mini goals that you need to hit. You need to hit certain amounts of income. You need to be able to find the right mortgage broker. You need to be able to find the right house. So perhaps it's all of those little steps that you need to be focusing on. And those are the things that you need to celebrate, those small achievements. The fact that you set out this week with a good intention of doing something, and you're looking to increase your income and you're looking to get more people in. So what you've done this week is actually you've spoken to 5 people every day, you've networked, you've put some posts out that are really, really good, you've started conversations, you've built your community. You might not have made the money this week, you might not have got those clients, but that is work towards those goals, and you have to trust that it's paying off. So resilience is always key. Resilience is always key. It's like riding a horse. It's not about avoiding falls. It's about getting back up, getting back on. You can't always avoid every single fall. We've all been there. It's like horses. Some of them are avoidable. Some of them are just total self. They're our fault. Sometimes they're just luck of the draw. So I want to encourage you and to ask you just to look at your perspective on failure and to shift it if you can. Because in order to step up in your journey, in your equestrian business journey, like you're going to learn from every single fall, you can learn from every single setback, every single failure, and say it's not failure until you stop working towards it. And we're all in this together and we're all experiencing setbacks. So let it fuel your path, get the support you need, head into the Equestrian Business Support Network if you need to, go there, ask your questions, get your support. And of course, let me know if you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you really, really soon.